Was this real or just a dream? BTS suddenly appeared together at a beach in Los Angeles and went live, but why now? Why here? And why all 7 at once? Is this a simple gathering or the sign of something bigger? Like, comment, and subscribe right now, so you don't miss a single heartbeat of this historic moment. What happened on that LA beach wasn't just a live broadcast, it was a storm of emotions, hidden clues, unspoken words, and a surprise so powerful that millions of fans across the world were left breathless.
안 좋나 봐. 약간 야 댓글 나왔다 댓글. 하나 올라. 헬로. 근데 초가 안 지나가는 거 아닌가? 아니야 지나가고 있어.
The beach in Los Angeles looked ordinary that evening. Waves rolling in slowly, the golden sun sinking toward the horizon, painting the sky with orange and pink. No one could have predicted that in the middle of this calm scenery, history would unfold. Suddenly, 7 familiar figures appeared on screen, standing shoulder to shoulder, their hair wet from the ocean breeze, their laughter carried by the sound of crashing waves. BTS, all 7 members, had gone live, and the world froze. Why the beach? Why Los Angeles? Why now? Why complete? All together. What was this moment meant to tell us? The opening was light-hearted, full of playful smiles and cheerful voices, but fans immediately noticed something deeper in their eyes, something unspoken, something fragile, something hidden. Jungkook, his damp hair falling over his forehead, held the camera close, leading the broadcast. Behind him, Jimin, with a towel over his shoulders, looked exhausted yet glowing, as if he had just run from the ocean. RM, in dark sunglasses, gave off a calm but mysterious aura. Suga, quiet with a black beanie, radiated a rare, settled warmth. J-Hope, full of energy, tried to keep the atmosphere bright, though his eyes flickered with something more serious when he thought the camera wasn't catching him. Jin, wearing a loose white shirt and shades, stood with an elegant stillness, his expression carrying a weight of nostalgia. And Taeyang, with a small, fleeting smile, looked into the lens in a way that made it impossible not to wonder what he was truly feeling. Fans around the world flooded the live chat. Questions exploded instantly. Why are they together? Is this a comeback? Are they filming something? Is this a farewell? Then, without warning, Jimin spoke, his voice soft, his eyes shining. It's been a while, hasn't it? Just 5 words, and yet they shattered millions of hearts. Jungkook turned toward him with a tiny smile, silent but agreeing. The air shifted. Memories of their early days, the struggles in small practice rooms, the endless rehearsals, the years of building dreams, all of it seemed to echo in that one sentence. And yet, beneath the nostalgia, there was tension. Every gesture seemed intentional, every glance loaded with meaning. RM tried to speak at length, but his words faltered, stopping midway as if he was weighing every syllable. Taeyang stepped closer to Jungkook, then retreated with a faint smile. J-Hope waved brightly but let slip a sharp, serious gaze before covering it with his usual cheer. Jin's eyes kept drifting to the horizon, as though he was searching for answers in the fading sunset. Was this really just a casual beach moment? Or was it the prelude to something bigger, something too important to reveal all at once? Then Suga, usually quiet, suddenly approached the camera. His tone was steady, calm, but deeper than the ocean behind him. Thank you for staying with us this far. The words echoed like a farewell, yet also like a promise of something yet to come. Fans gasped. Was this a goodbye, or the start of a new beginning? Jungkook, holding the camera, grew silent for a long moment. He lowered the phone, staring at the waves. His eyes closed, his chest rose with a deep breath, and when he opened them again, there was a shimmer, almost a tear, caught in the dying light. But he forced a smile. Fans watching live erupted in panic. Was Jungkook about to cry? And just then, Jimin stepped closer, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. No words, just a silent gesture of comfort. But that single touch spoke volumes. A reminder that even in their most fragile moments, they carried each other. Piece by piece, the live unfolded like a puzzle that no one could fully solve. Every second felt like a clue, every glance a riddle. Why LA? Why a sunset? Why now, of all times? Was there an announcement hidden between the waves of laughter? Or was this their way of saying goodbye to one chapter and opening another? The sun sank lower, painting the world gold. BTS smiled, waved, and said just 2 words, See you? But see you when? See you where? See you as what? The live ended, but the silence that followed screamed louder than the ocean. Fans sat frozen in front of their screens, hearts pounding with unanswered questions, tears mixing with hope. Was this nostalgia? Was this foreshadowing? Was this the beginning of a new era? Or a bittersweet farewell disguised in laughter and sunlight? One thing is certain, the live at LAS beach will remain etched forever in memory. One of the most unexpected, emotional, and mysterious surprises BTS has ever given. And now the question is yours. What did you feel watching this? Do you think it's a hint of a comeback, or something far more emotional? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because whatever this means, the truth might be revealed sooner than we think. The silence after the live ended wasn't really silence at all. For millions of ARMEs across the globe, it was a thunderstorm inside their hearts. The screen had gone black, the waves of LAS beach were no longer visible, and yet, the image of 7 figures standing, shoulder to shoulder against the sunset refused to fade. It replayed again and again, like an echo of something unfinished, like a puzzle missing its final piece. Why did they go live there? Why all of them? Why that exact moment when the sun was dying on the horizon? Every single detail became a theory, every breath a hidden message. Fans began rewinding clips, slowing them down, looking frame by frame for something they might have missed. Did you see Jungkook's lip tremble? Look at Jimin's hand on his shoulder. That wasn't just comfort, it was code. Why did RM stop mid-sentence? Why was Jin staring into the distance instead of at the camera? It wasn't paranoia, it was instinct. Because BTS had always communicated with ARMY in ways that went beyond words. A glance, a gesture, a carefully chosen phrase. They had always embedded their truth into the smallest things. And this live, happening on a random evening on the other side of the world, felt like one of those coded messages, wrapped in laughter but laced with raw emotion. Jungkook, the one who started the live, became the center of attention. His damp hair, his hoodie slipping from his shoulder, the way he smiled, but his eyes betrayed a heaviness. It all spoke louder than any words he could have said. And when he lowered the phone for that brief moment, when he stared at the waves as though they were carrying away his secrets, fans swore they saw his lips part, almost whispering something unheard. Was it a name, a word, a promise? Then there was Jimin, the towel over his shoulders, the way he looked startled at first as if caught unprepared, then softened as he whispered, "It's been a while." That phrase, so ordinary, carried the weight of years. It wasn't just about the time since their last group live. It was about everything. The distance, the waiting, the longing, the uncertainty that had lived in the hearts of fans and the members themselves. It's been a while since they laughed together without schedule, since they stood side by side without obligation, since they were just 7 boys at the beach, free for once. And then, there was the tension between Taehyung and Jungkook. It was subtle, almost invisible if you didn't know where to look. Taehyung leaned closer to him once, as though wanting to share something, then stepped back, hiding behind a faint smile. Fans immediately caught it. Was there an unspoken conversation happening between them? Was the beach live, in part, their silent way of addressing the endless rumors, the whispered stories that had surrounded them for years? But the biggest shock came from Suga, always reserved, always the quiet strength at the back of the group. He had no reason to step forward, no reason to break his silence, and yet he did. His voice steady, calm, but heavy with finality. "Thank you for staying with us this far." Those words were enough to shatter millions. Why would he phrase it like that? This far, as if a journey had reached its end, or at least a turning point. Fans replayed it again and again. Did he mean the group as we know it? Did he mean the chapter before their military service? Did he mean the years of struggle that had finally transitioned into something new? Or did he mean goodbye? And Jin, his presence was perhaps the most mysterious. He smiled, he stood with them, but his eyes were distant. He looked out at the ocean as if he was somewhere else entirely. For a moment, the sunset reflected in his glasses, making it look as though his eyes were filled with fire. Some fans claimed they saw him whisper to himself. Some swore his jaw clenched in a way that betrayed suppressed emotion.